Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
The night of the 98th Academy Awards was here. It was March 15th, 2026. The whole world watched. A controversial vampire film called Sinners had a record number of nominations. Everyone wondered if it would shatter historical records or fail on live television, a huge global event. This night showed how much the Oscars have changed over time. The first Academy Awards were very different. On May 16, 1929, about 270 people gathered in a hotel ballroom in Hollywood. Each person paid $5, which is about $94 today. The event was small, like a private dinner. Douglas Fairbanks, the first president of the Academy, hosted it. The ceremony was only 15 minutes long. There were no TV cameras, no live internet broadcast, and no big shows. The winners were already known 3 months before the party, printed in a small newsletter. This small, quiet dinner grew into one of the most watched and talked about events on Earth. How did a short 15-minute private dinner in 1929 become Hollywood's most debated night? It is a story of big dreams and hidden truths. The awards are now a symbol of great art, but the true hidden reason the Academy was created by studio bosses was about to change the industry in a much darker way. A powerful man named Louis B. Mayer, a boss at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, created the Academy. In 1927, he met with other studio leaders. He proposed forming the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. On the surface, it seemed to be about celebrating film as an art form, but its real reasons were more self-serving. Mayer was worried about organized groups of workers, called labor unions. A 1926 agreement with workers had scared the studio bosses. The Academy was a way to control future disagreements, or disputes, with workers. It helped keep power with the studio owners. The idea of giving out awards was almost an afterthought. The Academy wanted to improve the film industry's image and manage internal issues. It was not until May 1928 that the Academy approved presenting awards in 12 categories. This started the famous gold statues. The hidden reason for the Academy's creation was set to impact the film industry in a very significant way, far beyond just celebrating art. The first small party. Louis B. Mayer was a very powerful man in Hollywood, leading the big film studio, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. In early 1927, Mayer and other studio leaders invited over 30 movie executives to a dinner. There, they proposed starting a new group, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Many believed the Academy was created to celebrate great films, but its true reasons were for the studio's own benefit. Louis B. Mayer was worried about unions.
These groups help workers ask for better pay and better working conditions. Studio bosses were nervous after a 1926 union agreement. Mayer wanted the Academy to be a vehicle to manage worker issues and keep power with the film producers. Giving awards was not the Academy's first idea. It came later. They first focused on industry problems and improving film's image. In May 1928, the Academy approved giving awards in 12 different categories. These included awards for Best Movie, Artistic Films, Acting, and Directing. There were also prizes for how films looked, cinematography and art direction, engineering, and writing. A title writing award for silent film captions quickly became obsolete with sound movies. MGM's Cedric Gibbons designed the famous gold statue. George Stanley sculpted it, receiving $500 to make the bronze figure, which was then covered in 24-karat gold. For some years, this golden figure had no special name. The nickname Oscar began in 1931. An Academy secretary said the statue looked like her uncle Oscar, and a journalist printed her remark. The Academy officially used Oscar from 1939. Some stories say it was librarian Margaret Herrick. Others say actress Bette Davis named it after her first husband. The true origin of the name is still happily disputed. At the very first small dinner party in 1929, the Best Actor winner, Emil Jannings, could not stay. He asked for his prize early because he had to sail to Europe.
He left before the party ended. The Academy's system was to tell newspapers the winners' names at 11 o'clock on ceremony night. This seemed like a good plan. However, a local newspaper was soon to betray this trust, printing the winners much too early. This act would force the Academy to make a big, desperate change to its rules. The Big TV Show. The Academy Awards started small, but they quickly grew. The second ceremony, in 1930, was the first one broadcast on the radio. People at home could listen to the winners being announced. This made the Oscars much more popular. Then, in 1953, something even bigger happened. The Oscars were shown on television for the first time. This changed everything. The show was no longer just for people in the movie business. Millions of viewers across the country could now watch. They saw the beautiful dresses, heard the speeches, and felt the excitement when each award was given. The Oscars became a big television event, an annual show that everyone talked about. Before television, the Academy had a problem with secrecy. For a while, they told the names of the winners to newspapers at 11 o'clock at night. But in 1940, the Los Angeles Times newspaper printed the winners' names too early. They revealed them before the ceremony even started. After this, the Academy had to change its rules. They started using sealed envelopes for the winners' names. This system is still used today to keep the secret until the very moment of announcement. The 1940s also held a sad moment in Oscar history. In 1940, Hattie McDaniel won Best Supporting Actress for her role in Gone with the Wind. She was the first black actor to ever win an Academy Award. But because of unfair rules at the hotel, she had to sit at a separate table, far away from her white colleagues. Her win was a big step, but the segregation showed the unfairness of the time. Another moment that many people remember happened in 1941. A movie called Citizen Kane was nominated for many awards. Today, many film historians say it is one of the greatest movies ever made. But at the Oscars, Citizen Kane lost the Best Picture award to another film called How Green Was My Valley. It only won one award for how it was filmed. Many people still think this was a big mistake. It is known as the biggest snub in Oscar history. Through the 1950s and 60s, the show became even more grand and exciting. Movies like Ben-Hur won many awards, showing the Academy loved big films. Famous hosts like Bob Hope made people laugh. The Oscars became a huge part of American culture. With millions watching live on TV, the show started to have unscripted moments that the Academy could not control. 4. When people say no. The 1970s brought new kinds of drama to the Academy Awards. The show became more than just a celebration of films. It turned into a place for protests and unexpected events. In one famous moment, in 1973, the actor Marlon Brando won Best Actor for his role in The Godfather. Many people thought it was one of the best performances ever. However, Brando did not come to the show to get his award. Instead, a Native American woman named Sacheen Littlefeather came in his place. She gave a controversial speech. She spoke about how Hollywood showed Native American people in a bad way. The audience reacted strongly. Some people booed loudly, while others looked confused. This moment was difficult for many, and it brought up an important issue that Hollywood still talks about today: how movies show indigenous people. This representation of different groups in films is still a big topic. Just 1 year later, in 1974, a very strange thing happened. The Oscars show became very farcical when a man ran across the stage completely naked. This happened while the host, David Niven, was speaking. Niven, a famous actor known for his calm manner, did not panic. He made a clever joke about the man. He said the streaker would only get a laugh by showing his shortcomings. The audience laughed very hard at Niven's quick reaction. Later, people found out that this naked run was a planned stunt, but it was not clear if the show's producers knew about it beforehand.
As the years went on, especially in the 1980s, fashion became a big part of the Oscars. The red carpet, where stars walked before the show, used to be a calm and sedate place, but it changed into a fashion show. For example, in 1986, the singer Cher wore a very striking dress designed by Bob Mackie. It had a very low skirt and a small top with a big feathered headpiece. After that night, people talked more about her dress than about who won the awards. Mackie later said the dress was partly because Cher felt angry about not being nominated for a role she thought was very good. These big moments, from protests to fashion, made the Oscars exciting. But beneath all the glamour and entertainment, a serious problem was quietly growing: the issue of race and how different people were shown or not shown in movies was becoming a major concern. It was a problem that Hollywood had ignored for too long, and it was soon ready to cause big changes. Making things fair. The Oscars faced a big problem. For many years, the awards were not fair to everyone. For almost 70 years, most acting nominations were exclusively white. Most directing nominations were male, and the winning movies often showed only a small part of human life. This problem became very clear in 2015. A lawyer and writer named April Rain saw that all 20 actors nominated for awards were white. She started a simple message on the internet: "Oscars so white." This message quickly grew bigger. In 2016, the same problem happened again. There was still a very small number of different people nominated. Because of this, the Oscars so white message became very popular, going everywhere online. People all over the world started looking closely at the Academy. This intense scrutiny showed a long history of racism and unfairness. Most of the Academy's members, about 92%, were white. This lack of diversity was impossible to ignore any longer. This huge public reckoning forced the Academy to act. They promised to make big reforms to their group. Their plan was to have twice as many women and people of color as members by 2020.
These changes were seen as very important steps to make the filmmaking world more welcoming and fair for everyone. After these reforms, things slowly started to get better, showing real progress. In 2017, the movie Moonlight, which was about a young black gay man growing up in Miami, won the Best Picture award. This was a true and meaningful shift. Later, in 2023, Michelle Yeoh made history as the first Asian actress to win the Oscar for Best Actress. These historic wins showed that the Academy was finally beginning to honor more different kinds of films and people, truly reflecting the world's rich cultures and stories. But the journey to perfect fairness was not always straight or easy. Even as the Academy seemed to be making good progress with these important wins for diverse films, the stage was suddenly set for a completely different kind of moment. It was to be the most humiliating and confusing mistake ever seen on live television during the Oscars. 6. The wrong winner. The 2017 Academy Awards brought the most humiliating mistake in its history. It was the night for Best Picture, the biggest award of the evening. The famous actors Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty were on stage. They were chosen to announce the winner, but they were given the wrong envelope by mistake. Instead of the Best Picture card, they held the card for Best Actress, which had gone to Emma Stone for her role in the film La La Land. Warren Beatty looked at the card and seemed very confused. He paused for a long moment. Then Dunaway announced La La Land as the Best Picture winner. The filmmakers and actors from La La Land excitedly came onto the stage, full of joy and disbelief. One of the movie's producers, Jordan Horowitz, was in the middle of giving his acceptance speech. Suddenly, a voice from backstage shouted loudly, "Oh my God, it's not La La Land, it's Moonlight." The entire room fell silent. Horowitz quickly showed the correct card to the cameras, which clearly said Moonlight. The team from Moonlight then slowly came onto the stage to accept their rightful award, while the La La Land team stepped aside. This incredible mix-up was quickly named Envelopegate and became a jaw-dropping moment in television history. Millions of viewers around the world watched the confusion unfold. Many people wondered how the highly secured, top-secret envelope system could fail so spectacularly on such a huge night. Just 5 years later, another shocking and troubling event happened at the Oscars. At the 2022 ceremony, host Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head. He did not know that she has alopecia, a medical condition that causes hair loss. Her husband, Will Smith, walked onto the stage in front of everyone and slapped Chris Rock. This physical attack happened live on television for everyone watching around the world to see. Will Smith later won the Best Actor award that very evening, but the Academy quickly banned him from attending for 10 years. His acting career and public image have not been the same since this event. These two big public disasters, the wrong winner announcement and the unexpected slap, seriously hurt the Academy's reputation and trust. After such huge, visible problems, many people started to ask serious questions. They wondered if the legendary gold statuette, the Oscar, was losing its special magic and importance forever. These moments made people doubt the show's control and fairness. 7. The Golden Man. The famous Oscar statuette is a small gold figure. It is made of a metal called Britannium and is covered in 24-karat gold. This figure stands about 34 centimeters tall and weighs nearly 4 kilograms. Making just one Oscar costs about $400.
But its value to actors and filmmakers is much, much more than money. Its cultural importance is enormous. Winning an Oscar can completely change a person's career. It can help open doors to bigger movie budgets, better scripts, and more creative control. An Oscar can save a career that was not going well. However, for some, the award brings a lot of pressure. People expect too much from them, and some winners find it hard to live up to these high hopes. This difficult situation is sometimes called the Oscar curse. It is a half-serious idea that an actor's career can sometimes slow down or even have problems after they win an Oscar. This shows how much weight and psychological pressure the award carries. The Academy, the group that gives out the Oscars, has also made some new rules. For the 98th ceremony, all members must watch every movie nominated in each category before they vote. If they do not watch a film, they cannot vote for it in that category. This is a big change from the past, as not all members used to watch every film before voting. Another new thing for this year is a brand new award category, Best Casting. This is the first new Oscar award created in 25 years. Casting directors are very important people. They are the ones who find and choose the actors for a movie. When they do their job well, the actors feel just right for their roles. This new award shows that the Academy now wants to honor their important work. With these new voting rules, and the first new award in a long time, the upcoming 98th ceremony is very unpredictable. It is set to be a night where many records might be broken, making it an exciting event to watch. 8. The end of the night. The night of the 98th Academy Awards in 2026 was coming to an end. It was a special night, full of new records and important wins. Conan O'Brien hosted again, making people laugh. Everyone watched to see which films would win the famous gold statues. Ryan Coogler's vampire film, Sinners, had many nominations, more than any other film in history. 10 of these nominations were for black artists, a very big step for the Academy. Michael B. Jordan played two brothers in the film, showing amazing acting skills. Paul Thomas Anderson's movie, One Battle After Another, also had many chances to win. One of the biggest changes this year was a brand new award. For the first time in 25 years, the Academy gave an Oscar for Best Casting. This award honors the people who find the right actors for each role. Cassandra Kalukandis won this first award for One Battle After Another, a very important moment for casting directors. Many talented people won awards. Amy Madigan won Best Supporting Actress for Weapons.
This was special because it was her first win after a long time. Sean Penn won Best Supporting Actor for One Battle After Another, but he was not there. Paul Thomas Anderson won his first Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay. Ryan Coogler also won his first Oscar for Original Screenplay for Sinners, sharing a strong message about Black history and resilience. Other films also had big wins. K-pop Demon Hunters won Best Animated Feature, showing that global stories are loved. Frankenstein took home awards for its costumes, makeup, and designs, showing the hard work behind the camera. Even a rare tie happened for Best Live-Action Short. This night showed how the Oscars are changing. More women and people of color were nominated than before. Ruth E. Carter, Autumn Durald Arkapaw, and Chloe Zhao all made new history with their nominations. These changes reflected new rules for voting. Members now had to watch all nominated films in a category before voting, making the awards fairer. After nearly 100 years, the Oscars still matter.
They show the best of cinema and make people talk about movies. Even with all their flaws and arguments, the awards help us understand film history. They celebrate the powerful stories that films tell us. From the first short dinner to this grand event, the Oscars remind us of the enduring magic of movies. They show how films can change our minds and hearts. As the night ended, the last big awards were ready to be given.
Everyone waited to see which film would be called Best Picture. The Oscars continue to be a moment when the world watches and remembers why stories on screen are so important. What do you think is the most important reason why the Oscars still capture so much attention every year?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world.